Well, hi, everybody. I'm back again, JB here. This is episode 8 of Did You Ever Wonder? And the question is, did you ever wonder about the history of Wilson City Park? And you might have actually thought about that, as opposed to some of my questions. Anyway, so the history of Wilson Park breaks up quite nicely into 3 parts: a private history, a corporate history, and a municipal history. And we're going to stroll through those and see how that goes. Private ownership was under the aegis of this man, Albert L. Trent. Dig that great mustache, huh? The earliest I could find was about 1906, and he did it about through 1926. Mr. Trent maintained a city park then privately. He did it himself for the benefit of the city. That is a really civic-minded person, and he's always been one of my faves. The park in those days was only 5 1/8 acre size, not the size it is today. And this is a picture of Trent's Pond, which is, they took the water out of the spring over there at the park and filled what is now the ball field, and people swing through the slide and the gazebo over there. And you might not realize it, but I looked at a map of this, and that's a prospect going up, winding over the hill towards College. And my next slide will show you the view today. And that's taken from the first base side of the little ball field. And that's basically looking exactly where we were on. Let me back it up just so you can see that. There's the Trent's Pond. And there's where it was. That's currently today. Anyway, so then there was a transition period after Mr. Trent owned it. He sold it to a company called the City Park Company. They had it from 1926 to 1942, and that company was headed up by U of A professor Noah Field Drake. You can see his dates, and Dr. Drake was a professor at the University of Geology, a really civic-minded man, and our Drake Field down at the airport was named after him. And let me show you some of the things they did. And they built these, the City Park Company tourist cabins, and you recognize these stone buildings are still there on the right when you're in the city park. You see it coming up there on that's Prospect right there. We're just beyond those buildings. And if you drove in there today, it's paved, but those buildings there are still there. But all the little cabins are gone. Aren't they cool? I love those little cabins. They were sold to a man named H.O. Bailey in 1951, and he took them down south for a little tourist camp on South Highway 71. The City Park Company also built the City Park Pool, and this is this picture is of it from way back, but it opened on April 30th, 1927. So you have that, and see the grassy area there in the back. Whoops, I always do that when I move the cursor. This grassy area back here, that's Trent's Pond, and that's where the ball field is today. So it's really quite different, isn't it? Anyway, so after the city park ownership, the city bought it from the City Park Corporation. So this is the municipal phase. The reason I have Charles Morrow Wilson here is that Charles Morrow Wilson in 1945 sold 16 7/8 acres more to the city, what was called Wilson's pasture, to give us a city park of the size that we have today, which is about 22 acres. Wilson's pasture was from about where the tennis courts are today, all the way over to Wilson Avenue. And of course, I've shown, if you've seen my recent one, I had that picture and this one of his family. That's the Charles Morrow Wilson's family. And the reason I repeat it here, in case you didn't see that one, of course, is because right here, this lady right here on the right side of the picture, that's Mattie Morrow Wilson. That's Charles Morrow Wilson's mom. And she is why we have Wilson Park. When he gave all that land, he wanted it named the Mattie Morrow Wilson Memorial Park. And so that's why we have Wilson Parks named after that lady right there. And I just wanted to give you some other dates here along the way, just shot of the ball field, a more recent shot. The tennis courts that we still there, first opened in 1951. This area that we're looking there where Trent's Pond was leveled in 1954. And in 1955, 1 year before I started playing ball, the Sherman Lawler Little League opened at the still called City Park Ball Field. I'll explain that quickly here in the next one. In 1969, our city park officially became Wilson Park. The reason for that long delay from 1945 to 1969 is that Charles Morrow Wilson, who I covered in authors there before, tended to get in fights with people. And he fought with the Mayor Vaughn of Fayetteville for several years. And there was so much, I don't know if hostility is correct the word, but discontent, how about discontent between the city and Charles Morrow Wilson? It took him almost 25 years to name the park what it really is and what it's supposed to be, which is Wilson Park. And then a couple of other items here I want to add on here. Of course, nowadays, Wilson Park's always, people think of the castle that's there, and that castle was dedicated in 1980. And I have to give a plug to my niece, Sophia Estes, because she was one of the people that worked on that castle. Pretty cool, huh? And then one more here. In 2014, we put together, this is the park, and myself and Tony Wapple, Carol Jones at the park at that time, we put together this interpretive sign, which is kind of behind center field over by the swimming pool, just off the trail, off the paved trail there. And you can basically see it's the same history I'm giving you. Rather convenient. And in this picture here, if my cursor won't fly all around, and it did, of course, is I'll move the cursor here. You can't quite see her there, but that's my sister, Martha Hogan Estes, hiding out there. That's me, Judge Marilyn Edwards, my buddy Bobby Brawley, the former executive director of Cane Hill, historic Cane Hill. And that's Mayor Jordan on the right. And the arm reaching in, I'm sorry, I do not know who that is. I would like to say it's Lynn Wade, but I don't think it is, but I believe Lynn was there that day. But anyway, so that's just a real quick look at the three-part history of Wilson Park. I've given a lot of tours of Wilson Park. It's one of my favorite places to be. So now we'll see if I can get this thing to allow me to stop the recording without having to quit the whole thing, which it never does anymore. I don't know why it won't allow me. So here we go. We're going to do the same old thing we do every time anymore. Is we'll get out of here if I can and close these things down. Well, there's a lot of fun for you here, this last little part here. And now I'll, anyway, last thing I would like to say is thank you very much for watching. Be safe and healthy. I'm assuming the pandemic is going to be here for 6 months more. Be safe and healthy and take care. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.